Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Kevin's Candy Club World Tour. It's episode 3, and I'm going to give you a tour of all the different community farms on the server. And it's been such a long time since my last episode that I've got a lot of farms that are work in progress and weren't on the original list for this episode. But I'm going to show them to you, even though some of them don't look that pretty. So from the Nether Hub, we're down the north tunnel, and we're going to look at this basalt generator. It's pretty simple. You break the basalt, it goes into the chest. In order to turn it on, you flip the lever, it starts creating basalt. When you're done, you flip the lever to turn it off. Next up, we're going to head further down the blue tunnel, and we're going to go look at one of the first farms we built. So here we are all the way towards the end of the blue tunnel at Blue 37. You'll find this entrance down into the Blaze farm. Blaze rods and blaze heads go down in the chest. It's a decent farm for XP, but not the best on the server. Little enchanting setup. Yeah, now we're going to head back a little ways to Blue 29. This is Planet Girl's tunnel. Off to the side here, we have the Guardian farm. You stand inside, so that way when you get hit by their thorns, you stay in the range of being able to hit them. Out here, you can see we have 4 tanks. Now we're back in the hub, and there was something I forgot to show you, and that was inside the tree. So these portals in the tree do lead back to spawn, but if you go into the center, there's a little carpeted area and warped vines that go up to the nether roof. So if you don't have an elytra, you can just climb the vine, and once you're at the top, I recently transformed the nether roof to have a little train station. Right outside, you'll see that there's the old shulker farm. It's currently broken. Little quick tour of this train station. So it's same kind of concept as down below with the hub. You have your north blue, east yellow, south red, and west white tunnels. There are train tracks. And then here I'm gonna make a map art of the rail lines to put there. And then here I was thinking of just putting a little clock. Looked like a kind of a grandfather clock thing. We're going to head this way down the red line. You can actually see the tower of scaffolding already going up to our old gold farm. So yeah, again, if you don't have an elytra, the easiest way is to just go up the scaffolding. So once you're at the very top, find yourself in the room where you can fight the zombie pigmen. So I'm just going to anger one, and it's all manual looting, and drops go in the chests. I wouldn't put anything other than their drops in there because it goes down into a sorting system down below. So you got your rotten flesh, your gold nuggets, ingots, and zombie pigman heads, and then the swords get over here and get smelted into nuggets. And then there's also this bamboo farm off to the side that used for fuel. So whenever it runs out of fuel, it sends the thing off again to collect more. And then down below that, you can fill these chests with gold ingots, and then it'll start automatic bartering with these piglins. There's one other farm close by, and it's just the opposite direction if you start in the train station and you head north. The gas farm's this way, and you can kind of see it over here. There's a spawning platform, and above this scaffolding, which looks like it got broke, there's a kill chamber. So we're just going to head up. And the bummer with this farm is that it only works when one player is online. Otherwise, you end up with the gas going into the overworld and then despawning immediately. So yeah, you kind of just look up and hit them as the gas spawn, and then they drop their tears and gunpowder in here. Back to the train station. The red line is the only one that goes somewhere currently, but if you push this button for a train, and then you'll get a minecart, and then you just get in it, and it sends you off on your way. Minecart ride's about 5 minutes. Yeah, because of all the spawn proofing that I needed to do, the nearest place in the nether was 2,400 blocks away. We need elevator music. So this is the end of the red line. You'll see that pops you right out of the minecart, and then the minecart gets picked up and put right back into the dispenser. And this basically a much smaller version of the central train station. Then if you come out here and follow the torch line, you'll see much bigger gold farm built here and bartering station. All the drops from bartering get loaded into shulker loaders and then put in shulker boxes. I need to put some signs here. This is where empty shulker boxes go to load the shulker loaders for the bartering drops. And then we also have some cleric villagers here, so you can trade your rotten flesh to them and then buy some redstone or glowstone. Same kind of thing though here. They're all set up with shulker loaders and drop off empty shulkers there. And then up top, enchanting station. It's automatic. Right now, the bartering farm won't work unless you're using looting. So if you want all the bartering drops too, you gotta use manual kill. As you can see, rates here are pretty good compared to the other farm. Now that we're back at the train station, when you want to get back down, you could climb down the vine, but it's safe to fall straight down. Underneath these carpets is powdered snow, so you shouldn't die. We're going to head down the red tunnel, and we're going to go towards the very end. So down here at Red 46, there's this tunnel that hasn't been completed yet that leads to it's a bastion. So, leading down here to the bottom of the bastion, you'll find our Froglight farm. We basically cleared out the whole footprint, and there's glass covering the lava pools. And you can stand here and watch them. You could get on top of the magma box and watch them there, or down in here. This is where all the drops end up, down in the lava tunnel. So, you're going to get your Froglights. And just standing here inside this in this area, you should be getting spawns. So here at Red 24, we have the tunnel to the stronghold. So you can kind of see that it's end themed and stronghold themed tunnel. And this is also a work in progress project. We dug this out. Planet Girl has some plans for a design here. Now I'm going to show you the new shulker farm, which you should never... you should never need to actually go here. If you need shulker shells, I'm going to make a shop in our new farming district that will have more shells than we'll ever need. And I'll show you why I don't think we'll ever need shells again. Shulker shells start filling up here, and then they fill up this, and then they fill here, and all the way up to there. Yeah, I have 12 double chests worth of shulker shells and counting, so I think we're good. At some point, I'll be transporting a bunch of these over to the overworld, so they'll be easier to get to. Next farm in the end, an Enderman farm. So that's this glass bridge here. This is on the west side of the island. the best XP farm on the server. If you ever need ender pearls, you like instantly get more than you could ever handle, and lots of XP really fast. So those are the two farms in the end currently. I think Zuma built a copper farm in the end that I think I'm going to try to build. And if you would like me to do an episode of building that farm, let me know in the comments. So down here, white 3 on the right hand side. This tunnel is one of the first farms that got set up on the server. If you come out the portal and then head down this staircase, there's even a sword here. Kill spiders. You'll find string and spider eyes and cave spider heads. Also in this tunnel, this portal right here leads to skeleton spawner. You get bones and arrows, and then the overflow goes into this column. It's mostly bows. Okay, we're gonna head to spawn real quick. So this is where you likely spawned, somewhere in here. This farm is the sniffer farm. This is new since last time I showed the spawn area. And I just put it here because it's always loaded and they are so slow to drop seeds. The next set of farms are actually, if you come over here, there's a path that starts to lead down this way. And this road's probably going to get improved, and we're going to add some street lights. Off to the left, that path goes off towards my base, but this way leads off into what we're calling the new farming shopping district. So it's going to have some much larger farms that we're going to build, and you just keep following it down that way. But I'm going to show you the nether hub side so you can get to it a little bit faster. Again, down the blue tunnel at blue 5, this little tunnel leads to the new mass farming / shopping district. We don't really have a lot of shops, but they're kind of designed like shops, but everything is kind of use what you need and you run the farm for other people, so it's always available. This is the first farm actually that I built, and then actually the first thing I built using Limatica. Yeah, it's like a couple of rockets, and underneath is a sugarcane farm, and there's shulker loader, so sugarcane, and then a creeper farm, and gunpowder, yeah, and then rockets here. And I built this right before they announced the crafter, so right now this is kind of a manual crafting station, so you could stand here and craft rockets. So yeah, this was a kind of idea I had where I wanted to, instead of AFKing at a gunpowder farm or a sugarcane farm and just getting those things, I kind of wanted to see if I could make a combination of a AFK style farm that then you have an active role in. There's going to be a bunch of other farms in this area, and some of these AFK farms like this can run while we're working on one of these maybe more active farms like this over here. It took me like, I don't know, 15 minutes to throw this build together. And I'm kind of happy with it. All the snowballs automatically go in here, and then I manually fill those up. So if you want to use this farm, get your shovel, just hit here, and then most of them get picked up by the hoppers down below. Snow Golem just keeps creating new layers and infinite snow. So yeah, this path here, if you head down that way and follow it, you'll end up on the road back to spawn, and then going over this way, it kind of leads to the portal. And then I'm also gonna build a little bridge over here and clean up this area, but we have a giant bamboo farm. And this uses flying machines, so this is one of the very temperamental farm. You don't want to leave this area at all. So you turn it on, the flying machine gets going. So once they've kind of left the station, I turn it off again, and then I'll fly down here. I'm just gonna stand in the middle. Very rough right now. I'm gonna figure out a build to kind of build around it, so that way when you're standing here, don't risk dying at night or something. And then it comes over here. So again, shulker loaders. All the bamboo gets put in here, and then shulker boxes of bamboo end up down here. And then after a certain amount of time, the flying machine goes back. So yeah, you definitely want to make sure that the flying machines are working. You want to make sure you stay in the area so that way those flying machines stay loaded. Otherwise, they could break. So if you're going to leave the area, make sure you've at least given the flying machines a chance to finish coming back to their station. I want to kind of keep the river and add a bridge over here, but there's definitely something I want to build around this thing, some kind of structure, but I was thinking it'd be kind of nice to even keep this, so maybe some kind of building with an interior koi pond or something like that. Yeah, let me know in the comments if you have ideas on what I should build around this bamboo farm. And again, kind of keeping in mind the whole idea of an AFK farm that I could turn on, but then having something active to do, because I just really don't find it very fun turning my computer on, turning a farm on, and sitting there and leaving it running all night. I like to play the game. Any ideas there definitely would be great. So not far from there, if you keep heading this way, you will see there's a slime farm here. Giant slime. There's a 4 slime chunk. So yeah, above the slime farm, we have 2 other farms. So there's shulkers of honeycomb, and then up a little further, we have our honey bottle farm. I have a couple ideas. I'm going to build like a bubble elevator inside of a giant flower, and then up in the sky, I'm going to build a giant bee around those farms. So you see the bee next to the flower, and then you're going to AFK at the perfect location for the slime farm. Maybe there's some kind of active farming that we could add. Maybe on top of the flower, maybe I build some flower farms that like our manual 2 tall bone meal farms or something like that. The only problem there is then I need a source for bone meal. And with auto crafting, I can set up another version of this to create honey blocks and honeycomb blocks, which I'm thinking about doing, so I'd have 2 bees. Those are the current farms in the industrial farming area, I guess you'd call it. Pillager Outpost Farm is at yellow 23. We have keep inventory on. It doesn't make sense really to have totems, but we'll probably pick it up again at some point because raid farms are good for other things. Over here and go up the bubble elevator. So yeah, this farm is for Bad Omen. Eventually we'll probably build a raid farm over here somewhere on the other side of our portal here. I think this is an ocean, so somewhere over here we could build a raid farm. We're going to be heading to the latest farm I designed, and probably the most end-game farm on the server, and it is down the yellow tunnel. And now the yellow tunnel is actually the longest tunnel on the server, and I finished building it all the way out here to Y96, and then I'm kind of working on spoilers, working on a design for it. And you can kind of see the rough idea. I need to work out the roof down the stairway here with our skeletons. You can see the spawning platforms up there, and we have a respawn anchor there because it's so far away. And again, shulker loaders for coal. And then over here we have a shulker loader for bones. And then back here, we have our wither skulls. I've actually been using withers to try out a new method of deep slate mining. I'm not going full etho mode. I'm not using like 20 withers at once and invisibility potions. And that is the last farm on the list for this video. Of course, there's always more farms to build, like I was talking about, thinking about a copper farm. Also thinking about my little passive iron farm might not be enough, so maybe building a giant iron farm in the industrial district might be one of the next farms I do. I'll show you the technique I started using now that I have a bunch of wither skulls to mine some deep slate. So kind of dig out a small area for you to go back into. Set up your wither. So then you go back here, so that way you don't get hit, but you're gonna need to be able to shoot him after he explodes to keep him nearby. Get him down to half health, so that way he comes down and I can hit him with the sword. And now that he's here, we're gonna hit him a couple times. And so I'm just gonna get him down to where he's not at half health. So he's right behind me. Mine, a little ways down. And then I'm gonna hit him to keep his attention. And he's gonna break some blocks. And once you get him down like here, you almost don't even need to use your sword. You just punch him. You need to keep extending your tunnel, and you just have a wither follow you, you get his attention. You don't want to let him get above half health, and you don't want to do this for more than like 5 minutes, so the items that are out there that he's breaking don't despawn. Hit him, wait till he breaks blocks, hit him again. He's going to break some more blocks. Doc and Etho are going to come up with a much more efficient method and automated and all that, but this is just fun. It's a little faster and more fun than regular strip mining. Now I can go in and pick up all the diamonds and other resources that he exposed. Well, that's it, everybody, for this episode of Kevin's Candy Club World Tour. I hope you enjoyed, and I look forward to reading your suggestions down in the comments. And please leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more. Hopefully you'll see some of your ideas in a future episode. Have a good one, everybody. Goodbye.
Just like a snap, Kevin's Candy Club. Gather around with your friends and subs. It's the place to be when the times get real. Run the show like the king of the bluff. Kevin's Candy Club, it's the place to be. A place to find sweet, sweet harmony. We can have fun, no need to rush. It's a party in Kevin's Candy Club.